Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today I thought I'm going to be sharing with you a couple of tips for Ramadan and to all Muslims who are celebrating or who are practicing and going through Ramadan. Ramadan Kareem, Ramadan Mubarak, and I thought I'd just share with you this few tips that I have of how I get through Ramadan. Now, I get a lot of questions that people ask me is that how do I maintain my figure, because I don't really exercise a lot. I'm not like a gym bunny, I'm not a gym junkie. So if you guys follow me on my social media, which is like Instagram or Snapchat or whatever it is, you guys know that I am not like one of those like, you know, fitness enthusiasts. I am not like one of those like people who meal prep and stuff like that, but I do adopt a couple of things that has become part of my daily life, and that helps me to keep my weight in check, to help me to maintain my weight. So I would say that I'm not exactly like the fittest in terms of like endurance and stamina. If you ask me to run a marathon, I probably could not do it because I've not trained for it. But figure wise, like, and health wise, I've like adopted these things to help maintain my figure, and it's something that you can start off right off the bat in Ramadan. And you know, Ramadan is not exactly the time of the month for you to start a fitness journey, as in you shouldn't start exercising if you haven't been exercising. You're just gonna end up like, you know, killing yourself. But at the same time, you want to be ready, you know, to look good. You know, for us, for me, I wear the kabaya, and you want to have a kabaya body, in other words. I guess it'd be the equivalent to a bikini body even. And how do you do that when you're fasting and you're not really eating a lot, and you know, your hours are all, you know, jumbled up? Everything's pretty much like topsy-turvy for a bit in terms of being able to eat and watch what you eat. But there are things that you can do, and I'm going to share with you 3 things that you can do in the month of Ramadan. And these are things that you could practice not just in the month of Ramadan and not just while you're fasting, but you can adopt the same principles throughout and even after Ramadan. So Ramadan is a good time for you to start a habit, because most of the time you're going to go for your sahur, which is your pre-dawn meal, and then you're going to have your iftar, which is the meal that you have to break the fast. So the first thing I am going to share with you is the 12-4-4 rule. Now, this is not something which I found out or I discovered or I built by myself, but I've actually been involved with a group called ProwellnessSG, and I'll link their Instagram in the down bar below. And I've been, you know, I've gotten to know them a little bit, and I've learned from them a couple of things, and one of the things that they taught me was the 12-4-4. If you think about it, if you start from sahur, which is at about 3 o'clock and 3:30, 4:30 in the morning, and then after that you go for a more or less 12-hour fast. So you have your first meal then, and then 12 hours later it should be about 7 o'clock. So, you know, if you eat at 4:30, 12 hours later is basically 4:30 in the afternoon if you're eating at 4:30 in the morning. That's for us here in like Southeast Asia. And so by the time it's 7 o'clock where we break our fast, and that's about like 15 hours in. So you have your first iftar, you have a small iftar, and you break a small fast, so you could have like a couple of dates and, you know, just a small meal. And then technically after that you go for your Maghrib prayers, and then you prepare to go for Isha to the mosque. And if you're doing your Tarawih, it's like the best time. It's, you know, because by the time you finish your small meal and by the time you finish Tarawih, it's gonna be about 10:30 by the time you get back. So that's about like almost 4 hours in. So you're gonna have your next meal 4 hours later. So the 4 hours start after the end of your meal. So it's not when you start your meal, but it's at the end when you finish up your meal, and then you count 4 hours. So after that you come back from Tarawih, and then after that you have a slightly heavier meal, and that's like the next, you know, that's like after the first 4 hours you have your slightly heavier meal. Sorry. And then after that you're gonna go to bed, and then that should be, you know, if you're doing Tarawih, by the time you have a small meal and stuff, and you know, even for me, I tend to sleep at about midnight. And then you think about it, the next 4 hours, 4.5 hours, I'm gonna be sleeping, and then I'm gonna wake up and eat again. So it is the 12-4-4 rule. And then so that's the first thing to try and adopt. So it is also something which is encouraged by the Prophet Muhammad SAW, peace be upon him, that you should have a small meal when you break your fast, and then you go for your Maghrib and your Isha, and you go for Tarawih, and after Tarawih you have a bigger a slightly heavier meal. Now the whole point is not to gorge yourself and then eat and stuff your face. You think that you can actually eat a lot and you feel like you want to eat a lot, but that's just greed. And mainly after you fast, your stomach really shrinks and you can't really eat a lot. At least that's how I feel. So I don't really eat a lot upon iftar, and then, you know, usually as the night goes along, then I have the real hunger craving of like having a slightly heavier meal. So the second tip that I'm going to share with you is to adopt the healthy eating plate. This is also something that the awesome guys at Pro Wellness has taught me, and so the healthy eating plate was something that, you know, we're all familiar with the food pyramid. So that's the thing that I'm familiar with, you know, picking your foods according to the food pyramid. But the healthy eating plate is something that it was a little bit new to me. I didn't think I'd come across it in school, or maybe I did, but I forgot. And anyways, so the healthy eating plate, basically you're gonna look at taking, you know, you have to take carbs, protein, your vegetables, as well as a little bit of fat. You need to have all these four things. They are the four main things that make up the food pyramid, and as well they're going to provide you with all the nutrients that you need. Now, how do you portion? So the healthy eating plate basically teaches you how to portion your food. So the first thing to do is that, the first thing you should take note is that when you're having protein, you take 2 palms of protein. So palm by palm, we mean like literally the size of your palm. And then you take 2 servings of that, and then you take either a half fist or a full fist of carbs, and then you also take a thumb size of fats. So good fats could be like, you know, you take olive oil or avocado and things like that. So and then the last thing is a full fist of vegetables. Now that is going to comprise generally a healthy eating plate, and it's something that you can adopt even after Ramadan. So when you're eating, you try to think about how you're portioning your food, and then that's going to help you to also not only maintain your weight, but it might also and it will most possibly help you lose weight, because you're taking more carbs, you're taking more protein than carbs. And I'm gonna explain that in another video, in the following video after this one, so stay tuned for that if you want to understand more onto as to why the portions are in such a way. Okay, so my third tip is going to be how to drink enough water. Now generally, you know, you are going to be very dehydrated, and for most of us, we're during Ramadan in summer, which is like the hottest time of the year, so you're going to be extra dehydrated. And how you're going to squeeze in 8 glasses of water between breaking fast and before and up to your sahur. So the first thing is, like, when you start from sahur, you drink your first glass of water when you wake up, and then the moment you wake up, you drink 1 glass of water, and then as you're having your sahur, you drink another glass of water, and then after that you're gonna fast, right? And then after your fast, you're gonna break fast, and then the first thing is you take 1 glass of water to break your fast. You know, it's always encouraged to break your fast with either a glass of water or a glass of milk together with dates. And then after that, you know, you go for your Maghrib prayers, and then after that, after your Maghrib prayers, you take another glass of water. So that's 4 glasses of water already. And then after that, you're gonna have like a quick meal, and then you take a glass of water. So that's your 5th glass of water. And then after that, you know, you go for your Isha prayers, and then after Isha, you're gonna have another glass of water. And then after that, throughout as you're going for Tarawih, what I do is that when I go for Tarawih, I am gonna like drink water in between, like every raka'at, like as you're praying, and when there's a break in between, I'm gonna drink water throughout. So that's, and you can do that either throughout the Tarawih, or you can also drink another glass of water after Tarawih. And then at the end, and the last glass of water would be just before going to bed. So if you count it all, we've already done 8 glasses of water for every day when you fast. So that's how you're gonna stay hydrated, because you can't really just drink like 2 liters of water straight down. You know, you're not gonna feel well, or you're gonna feel bloated. And also, if you drink too much water before you start fasting, you're just gonna end up like going to the toilet and peeing all out, and you're just gonna be dehydrated anyways. So the best way is actually to keep yourself hydrated throughout the night from breaking fast to before you start the next fasting cycle. So those are the 3 tips that I have to help you guys throughout Ramadan. It's gonna help you have a to keep a good habit, to help maintain your weight, and then it should help you lose weight as well, for those of you who are looking to lose weight but you can't quite start an exercise regime, because it's just ridiculous to start an exercise regime during the fasting month, or you're not sure and you haven't been exercising. But if you've been exercising, then it's a completely different matter, of course. So yeah, so let me know what you think of these tips, and stay tuned for the next video where I am gonna be sharing with you a little bit more about the healthy eating plate. Bye!